and by all accounts, he is qualified. He's a non-political appointee, which I think is probably the right move, because if you have someone that worked in the Justice Department that understands the inner workings of it, I feel like I could have more confidence in that kind
so all of a sudden, because Comey's now going to testify, all of a sudden Trump decides to put an FBI guy in there. And what's he going to do right before the testimony tomorrow? He's going to pull something.
Well, he announced that was what he was, this was it.
Just to distract and deflect.
Well, Twitter's back. It's game on, game off, game on, game off. Twitter now is the official statement.
Yes.
I think it'll be interesting, though, to see. It's so fascinating to me how many Americans are plugged into this, because there was a time when I remember these hearings would come on and so many people would just tune it out. But people are so interested because they're worried about collusion potentially between the Trump administration and Russia. They're worried about whether there was, we talked about an obstruction of justice. Did Trump tell Comey or tell other people back off of this investigation into Flynn? So
and did he
people
lie when
are
he
really
made that
concerned.
statement? Remember Trump issued that letter
Now,
that
we
said,
don't know.
thank you for telling me 3 times that I wasn't under investigation.
Which didn't sound suspicious.
But isn't it, to me, it's so fascinating that these, what were once in the weeds discussions now are dinner table discussions, because people are really concerned and they feel like they need to be activists in their own. They need to be journalists.
Is something we haven't really had to deal with in a president.
And people
Russia,
are afraid.
Well, we've never had to deal with questions as to whether Russia's fingers were in the elections, what the new guy knew, what he didn't know. It's kind of amazing, and this is all sort of new territory, and I think people do want to know, because that might be the line that you're not supposed to cross for a lot of folks.
Well, it's political participation, which even at the rate we're at, people aren't voting. Like, we still have people that don't come out to vote. So the idea that people are informing themselves now, hopefully this will be a game changer now that we are treating it like a sporting event.
Yeah, I was going to say that Watergate, and even this guy Clapper has said that Watergate was not as bad as this. Because Watergate was internal corruption and, screwing around with the Constitution, for sure. But this is external interference in our government. And they're now saying that Russia interfered in an international thing that was going on with Qatar and Saudi Arabia. And Trump, of course, stuck his 2 cents into that with a tweet. It's like, it's very dangerous what he's doing right now.
It is, and right before Comey split with the current administration, there was an ominous statement from you-know-who, and he just repeated it about someone else in his inner circle. Let's take a look at both clips. So people are saying that might be a kiss of death, because once you get more famous than him, you got to go. That's what happened with Steve Bannon. Remember that? Steve Bannon, who I really think is the president, suddenly disappeared. Suddenly disappeared, and now he's come back up. Yes, baby.
Has anyone ever heard Jared Kushner speak?
No.
I've looked for videos.
I think Ivanka
I don't know what he sounds like.
Maybe Ivanka. He's sort of like the silent guy behind the scenes, and he appears to be a puppeteer. But I wanted to get back to...
He's like Michael Corleone to me.
Yes. Right?
Even the way he sits. When someone is speaking to him, he's like, he looks at them like this. Like as if, I am the Don.
And he folds his hands in front of him in this peculiar kind of way.
And if you wonder why we're obsessing about that, because we still haven't heard him speak. It's all we have to obsess about.
You know what? I wanted to mention what's interesting to me is the new report that Comey asked Sessions, the Attorney General, not to leave him alone in the room with Donald Trump. And that's
He's afraid of being grabbed by the you-know-what.
but it really struck me as very significant, because, our training is never to interview a witness by ourselves. And you see it at the doctor's offices all the time. Remember when you have a male gynecologist, there's usually a female nurse with you. Police officers usually interview people together. And for Comey to allegedly have said that, I really think that is true. I really think he was concerned about what could have happened if he were left alone in a room and sort of pressured to obstruct justice.
You don't know if that happened. But I think that's a lot of Americans, I said before, are tuned into this in a way they weren't before. And I think it's because a lot of the news that's breaking comes from these officials claim. We say allegedly because we don't know. So there's so much information out there that people don't feel that they have a hold on the truth. And Trump supporters and those who aren't, they just want to know what happened. They just want the truth. I believe they do.
I don't believe that, because even in the face of fact, when you know what happened and you still double down on the lie, that to me is
voters.
I'm talking about the people that support him, his base. That's who I'm talking about. I'm not saying they're bad people. I'm just saying when he says, you know, the mayor of London said this, and what he actually said is there and was there before the man tweeted, and you stick by what the man said, to me, you don't want the truth. But yesterday, speaking of truth, the sons, Eric and Don Jr., came out hard in defense of their dad's current problems to ABC News.
Now, the Hunter? This is the Hunter.
They're both.
Now, this interview was with ABC News, which is part of the mainstream media that they keep insisting is churning out fake news. So how are you supposed to take this?
It's fake when they want it to be fake. That's it.
You know, how is it? Because, you know,
I think it's fake news. Only because you have Donald Trump.
What do you think is fake news?
I think what Donald Trump Jr. said that they have Eric Trump Jr.
No, he's not Junior.
Wait.
Eric Trump.
Eric Trump basically said that they have no business dealings in Russia at all. However, Donald Trump Jr. became a regular presence in Russia around 2008, including visiting at least 6 times in 18 months. He spoke at a 2008 conference and said Russians make up a pretty disproportionate cross-section of a lot of our assets. We see a lot of money pouring in from Russia.
Yeah, he doesn't say that Russia. He makes it like, well, we're not giving money to them, but he doesn't say they're not putting money into us.
So that's,
watch the way he phrases
said it.
Right now, so in talking about his base, his base will say, well, that's fake news. You know, they're not. That's not what they really.
There are a lot of members of his base that I talk to every day that don't feel that way. That really want the truth.
They want to speak up.
They want to talk about the issues. They want to talk about the economy. They want to talk about before they can do that. This needs to be solved.
I read something about the base today that was interesting.
Oh, you shared that with
me. Yeah, I shared it with her. It's on the Washington Post. Jonathan Capehart wrote, and it's really basically these people who love him. They don't care if he lies. They don't care if he doesn't help them. He has given these people a voice. These people who have felt out of the loop by the intellect, whatever they call people like in New York City and Washington. These people feel that they have been left out, and this man has brought them into the game, and that's all they care about for the moment.
But I promise you, a lot of them do care if he lies and holds him accountable, and they're on social media, and I talk to them every day, and they want the truth. There are voters out there who supported him and want the truth.
Do they care about that?
We want the truth, and you know what the truth is? We gotta go. We'll be right back. Secretary Sean Spicer has now said tweets from the White House could be considered official statements from the president. So some people are wondering, if that's the case, is he violating the First Amendment by blocking someone's Twitter? Because when you are the official state, you're not allowed to block people who are saying, listen, I don't like what you're doing as, you know, the new guy in the office. You're not allowed to block that stuff if it's official. So if this is official, you could have some trouble, new guy. People could get really upset with you.
How could it not be official? I don't understand how it could not be official. I mean, you can't have one statement coming from Trump on Twitter and then another statement coming from the White House. He is the White House.
Well, that's the thing his surrogates were doing. They were saying, oh, Twitter is just Twitter. It's not official.
But
and then he said it is. He said it.
Backpedaled on it.
They railed on him for that.
Sam doesn't know what the right
But
hand's
it
doing.
has to be official.
It's
And you can't block people then, because if you're saying that's your means, your best means of communicating with people, then you have to allow people to have a response and to see what you're saying.
It's a constitutional public forum under the First Amendment.
I wonder how many people he's
not
blocked.
block anyone.
I'm sure he's blocked a lot of folks, but
a lot of people.
And it goes along with, you know, how much I feel about the summer White House and the winter White House, you know. Because when he was going to, what is it?
Mar-a-Lago.
Mar-a-Lago?
Yeah.
And he kept saying, oh, yeah, it's the winter White House. I was like, well, if it's the winter White House, I guess I can go in there.
Yeah.
Because the White House is our house. It's our
I think that he really was thinking of the Russian Tsar, who had a winter palace and a summer palace.
I see.
Well, you know, there's a creator, this guy, Russell Nice. He's an educator and a software engineer. He started putting the tweets in presidential format. I think we have one or two of them.
Oh.
He puts it, and look at that. He says, in any event, we are extreme vetting people coming into the U.S. in order to help keep our country safe. The courts are slow and political. And when you see it on there, on the White House stationery.
Read this one.
Look at, this one is incredible. The Justice Department should ask for an expedited hearing of the watered-down travel ban before the Supreme Court and seek much, I don't know what that means, and seek much tougher version.
Yeah.
When it comes like that, it goes to show you the gravitas.
Was that short for Amber Salmon? Why did he waste some of his characters?
I don't know. I didn't understand that.
Probably more he could have said.
Why did
I don't think
stay up there
you know,
for 2 days?
I think you have to
Covfefe
look at
is
it
not
as
a
it is.
statement.
These you can clean them up and try to make some fun with that. But to me, listen, you're supposed to be the guy in charge, and if this is how you're going to communicate, you don't get to skirt the Constitution. You can't skirt it, no matter what you do. You could, every time you put some stuff out, people say, well, it's actually not constitutional. They're not kidding. The Constitution is real.
So this may be
It's
the way he
there.
shoots himself in the foot.
Well,
this may be
he
it.
should also polish it up a little.
He doesn't care. He just says whatever
I
he's
think he should be more conscious too, because you have foreign leaders looking at it. I mean, it's embarrassing.
He doesn't listen.
people
This
looking
is
at
the
it.
man that shoves foreign leaders out of the way.
Well, he can't do
You know,
that.
it's
That's
just
not
it's
gonna
too
work.
much. But you know, speaking of interesting behavior, Jerry Seinfeld is going viral right now for an awkward exchange with pop star Kesha on the red carpet. Take a look. Watcher Seinfeld knows he's not a hugger. He's not going to hug
no,
you.
I like that.
And so, you know,
guess
people
she doesn't
don't
watch it.
understand. No, you know, and people sometimes don't understand that, you know, just because you think you know someone doesn't mean that they want to touch you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just is.
Can I just say it's a struggle though for. I work with you, and before I worked with you, I watched you in film for years.
Yeah.
I felt like I knew Whoopi Goldberg. I had watched Ghost. I could recite all the lines. I was like, so when I showed up the first day of work, I felt like we'd known each other for 20 years. I was like, Whoopi, you know? And you're looking at me like, welcome to the show. So I think we have to keep ourselves in check, and now I do, because I realize now from being on this show, people come up to me and are like, Dad! And I'm like, who are you? So you gotta keep yourself in check a little bit, but it is a struggle when you feel like you think about, like, you know, we had Deborah Messing on from Will and Grace. I've watched that show for years. I'm like,
You try to belly bump her?
I tried everything. And you know, that's on us though, man.
You know, yeah.
I don't get comfortable with the
Well,
hug.
no, and also, you know, if you're a person who wears cologne or perfume, know that the person that you are hugging may not be comfortable with it because it might be bad for their throat.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
saying
true.
anybody in particular. I'm just saying, you know, there are reasons people sometimes don't want to do it, and you can't get mad at them for that. It's just,
And
you
the
know,
germaphobes.
You
Did
know,
we have the
some
guest at the
germaphobes,
germaphobe?
yeah.
Mandel.
Howie Mandel
Yeah.
doesn't like
Oh,
to be
yeah.
hugged.
Yeah.
No,
Howard
it's the
Stern likes
hands.
that.
You
Yeah,
don't
they
mind.
shake hands,
You
yeah.
can touch him all over.
The
just
new
not
guy
his hand.
doesn't
She
shake
did.
hands.
I did.
Oh, he
The
does?
new guy does not shake hands. He's a germaphobe, too.
Oh. I know that. Yeah.
We'll be right back. I'm going to go.
I can't.
Welcome back. Ooh, it's chilly in here like wintertime. You know, our best man, who was also officiating at an $80,000 wedding, decided to propose to his girlfriend and announce that she's pregnant right in the middle of the ceremony. Now, social media went berserk. What the hell?
Well, they turned on him.
Well, of course they would have turned on him. Why would they?
Was it in the middle of the ceremony?
It doesn't matter if it was in the beginning, middle, of the end. You're not supposed to be proposing to your other half.
The reason
or
everyone's
announcing
looking at the front of the room
her
is because
pregnancy
someone else
in the
is
middle
getting
of
married.
the wedding that you are
That's what I mean.
officiating.
Was it at the reception or at the,
no, it was
What
during
did
the
I read?
ceremony.
What did it say?
the ceremony?
Okay, that's what it was.
It's like, do you take this woman? Wait 1 second.
That's what I mean. Like,
Wait
I
1 second.
I can't imagine the logistics of
That's
it.
how it went down.
That's what
Can
it
you imagine if this happened to you, of all people? If this happened to Sonny, there would be...
Could this? What
would do that?
Anybody? Why would you?
You're not even
What
supposed
is
to wear
that?
a white dress, and if you definitely don't want to wear a dress that is too revealing, because they always say you never want to show up or upstage your bride.
Stage the bride.
Upstage, he not only proposed, he's like, she's not done.
I'm like, it's so hard to believe. believe?
Is it possible that he thought his friend would find this cute that they were sharing?
That's what I mean.
Can't be real, right?
It cannot be real.
You know what? Anything is real given what's happening in Washington.
It's fake news, Whoopi.
Anything is real. But, I mean, what kind of craziness is that?
I think Whoopi asked in the meeting, she goes, or someone said, well, what did the woman think? Because you think there's got to be a voice of reason in this relationship. They're like, she cried. She was so excited. Like, I don't believe this story. No, the woman being asked.
So he's marrying a narcissist like him. Good.
They're a match made in heaven.
But then there was more to the story. There was one more piece to this. Apparently, during the reception, the couple who announced sort of unexpectedly asked if they could play a special song for them.
Before the wedding couple danced
Before
together.
the wedding couple danced.
I don't believe it.
They're just too cheap to have their own wedding. That must be it.
I think they decided,
And they're gonna
they
elope.
saw this is costing them 80 grand. I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna hang on your wedding.
They have
I'm gonna
mutual
get it all
friends, so
done.
everybody's
The groom hasn't talked to his best man, understandably so, but how did he not know him better before that?
You know, because of this story, it reminds me of the fact that I've been married 2 times, and I proposed both times.
You did?
Yes.
You did.
And on that note, we'll be right back.
You get down on your knees?
This man is one of the biggest comedians on the planet right now, with more than 100 million fans on social media and over 3.5 billion at the box office. Stand-up gigs that fill football stadiums, and he has a new book called I Can't Make This Up, Life Lessons. Please welcome the incomparable Kevin Hart.
That's too much. Thank you, guys.
Well, you know, you all that.
Oh,
you all
stop it. Stop it.
Now,
Too much.
so we've been talking about comics in particular in the news these days, and as you know, Bill Maher has been taking some heat, as has Kathy Griffin.
Yes.
What's your take? Are comics doing what they've always done and just recognizing consequences, or is there something different happening?
Well, I think that, I mean, with anything comes change, and I think the times are different now, and as a comedian, you have to understand and respect that. You know, if you put yourself in a position to be viewed in a negative way from the public, with social media being the way that it is, if it's negative, it's going to spread. You know, viral equals virus at a certain degree. So, you know, I think you have to use better judgment. There's things as a comedian that I know I can't say because of my platform. So if you have a huge platform and you say certain things on that platform, it's going to be seen by so many. So when you look at Kathy Griffin and you look at Bill Maher from what they've done, you know, you're just looking at comics being comics. We always take risks, but, you know, sometimes it can be distasteful. And
Do you think they should lose their jobs for it, though? I mean, there's a lot of that going around.
I mean, well, you know, I won't personally speak on anybody's, you know, position in life with their job. I'm not in place to do that. I won't throw any negativity that way, but I will say that certain things can just not be tasteful. I think Kathy Griffin, I get that it was a joke. It wasn't received well. You apologize. You just step away from it. Whatever happens after that, it happens. Bill Maher, I don't think Bill Maher is a racist, but you know the consequences of using the word. You know how many people view into your show. It was stupid.
Why do comedians have to be more politically correct than the President of the United States?
Well, I don't think they do. I don't think they do in any way, shape, or form. I mean, look, we live in a country where freedom of speech is what we stand for. But at the same time, our country has several different individuals who have several different opinions. Everything isn't going to go over well.
I want to talk to you about you.
Oh.
And your very
That's a good thing.
successful career. Forbes named you the highest paid comedian.
Don't get me wrong.
For earning more. More than $87 million last year. Wow. And your book is fantastic. You really talk about sort of that rags to riches experience.
Yes.
But even Dave Chappelle has said in his Netflix special that you're more popular than he is and that his son is a bigger fan of yours than his.
Yeah, that's a true story. Tell us
about it.
Dave, I was in Ohio and I was doing the show. And Dave called me. He was like, I didn't know you were down here. I'm here. I was like, come down. I'll take care of you. He brought his son to the show. And Dave didn't see my show. He saw me perform like when I was working on material, but he never saw the production behind my show. Like my show's a show. So he came and he saw the opening. He saw me shoot out from the bottom of the stage and fireworks and explosions. So his son came back afterwards and his son was blown away. And I was like, come in, eat. And they ate. And his son, he was talking about something because his son was eating so fast. He got mad at his son. He's like, stop embarrassing me. And I ended up giving his son, they gave me like a bunch of paraphernalia from the school, from the area, and it had my name on the back. And I gave it to his son. And I was like, if your dad ever make you mad, just walk around the house with that jersey on. But Dave is a great guy, man. I mean, look, I'm a student of comedy, and I'm very much in the position I am because of all of the great comedians before me that have paved the way for me to go through the doors that I'm going through. So I take my hat off to him for even coming and showing me love at the show and for putting me in the set. It was the biggest compliment that you can ever receive. So I love him to death for that.
You write in the book a lot about your humble beginnings in Philadelphia, and it's really fascinating. You say you started out as a mistake.
Yeah.
And you talk about how your dad struggled with addiction to crack and some of the things, spent some time in prison, and you talk about some of the things you witnessed as a kid. What were some of those things? I found it fascinating to read.
I mean, some of them. I mean, you name it, I witnessed it. You know, I came from hard times. Philadelphia, North Philadelphia. Dad was on any and every drug that you can name, in and out of jail. I think the hardest thing, probably the deepest thing, this is daytime. They had a picture of me with drawers or something on it. People just say, oh, just what's your show? Okay. That was me when I didn't have no facial hair. It was weird. No, I think the toughest thing was just seeing my dad when drugs really had that effect on his life. Like when you visibly see the change in the person and you're at an age to go, oh, wait, this is something else, you know, and you're young enough, but you're old enough to go, something isn't right, and nobody wants to talk to you or tell you because of your age. They're trying to protect you, so you end up putting the pieces to the puzzle together yourself. And, you know, where I lived, people that dealt drugs were dealing drugs to my dad. So ultimately, I became the butt of a joke without knowing that the joke was my dad. It was like, oh, your dad coming back, you know we've been giving your dad stuff. Not my dad. No way. You ever give my dad stuff. And then eventually I see, and I'm like, oh my God, I haven't seen my dad in X, Y, and Z, but here it is. My dad has been reoccurring and currently visiting these places without me know. So when you're a child and you see it, it's like, damn, that's the biggest punch that you can take.
But you dealt with all of that with humor.
Oh, well, you have no choice. I mean, for me, you got different roads that you can take. You can make it right, you can make it left.
Yeah.
I always chose to take the smart route. You know, that easy, dumb route is negative, is violent, is following the same road that was being displayed to me. I chose to go this way, and I used humor, personality, positive spirit.
Your mom was very strict on you. You said she'd beat on you and kept you on a very short leash.
Yeah, my mom used to whip my behind.
With your own toys.
But she supported you in an unexpected way when you started in comedy.
Very much so. My mom never questioned my vision. She never questioned my goals and my dreams when I decided what they were. So she took a year and she said, within this year, you can make things right, and I'm going to support you. I'll back you. I'll pay your rent. You got nothing to worry about.
You got to read this Bible.
Yeah, she wanted me to read the Bible. I didn't read the Bible how she wanted me to. And eventually, I had no choice but to open the Bible because she just kept saying that she wouldn't give me the money. And I opened the Bible, and all of the rent checks for the year were hidden in the Bible.
In the Bible.
She didn't want to tell me that. Yeah.
Open the book.
Go to the good cook.
Yeah, good, right? Good.
Go to the good cook.
You know, we're going to take a break. Kevin will still be here, and we'll talk some more. We'll be right back.
I like it.
We are back with the hilarious and very busy Kevin Hart. You have so much going on right now. In
Yes, I
addition
do.
to this book, which has puppies on the front.
Best cover ever.
You're starring in the hit kids movie Captain Underpants.
I am, yeah.
And then you're branching out to drama.
Yes. Have a movie coming out called Untouchables, starring Bryan Cranston, Nicole Kidman, myself. My first drama, and it's a remake of a French movie. And I think that my fan base is going to be very, very pleased with the results. I mean, I've seen some pieces, and I'm blown away. I cried on camera, guys.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was it hard? Did you do the Denzel one tear?
No, I only.
The Denzel one tear is key.
Well, let me be honest about it. It was only one
heard
take.
that one.
It was
Yeah.
one take, and it happened. And they was like, "That was amazing. Do it again." And I was like, "Not gonna happen."
That's all I got. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Like, that was it. That was the moment. If we didn't get that, we're never gonna get it.
Kevin, you have two beautiful kids from your first marriage.
I do.
Daughter Heaven,
Yeah.
12, and son Hendrix, 9.
Yeah.
How is their upbringing different from yours was?
You know what? I'm present. You know, me and my dad have an amazing relationship now, and I talk about this so much in my book. You know, the things that my dad did prepared me for the things that I'm doing today. You know, his lack of, and you know, the times that he missed or the problems that he went through, it made me really understand what I should do. I should be present. I should make sure that the time that I spend with my kids is the most important thing. The conversations, the lessons that I can give and provide. That's what I do the most. I mean, I break my neck. As soon as I'm done here, I'm getting on a plane, flying back to LA for an hour to go to my daughter's graduation. And I
That's
gotta
right.
get back
That's
on the
right.
plane and come right back. So,
Good for you.
it's me just understanding the importance of that. But what I love about my dad is now that my dad is clean, he understands his mistakes. And instead of trying to right those wrongs and make them, you know, better, he's trying to focus on being the best grandparent that he possibly can. So, you know, everything happens for a reason, which is a good
It
thing.
all turned out okay.
It all turned out okay,
Do
man.
you have a favorite way to embarrass your kids? I know my mom sure does.
I'm just loud. I'm loud. I'm loud. I show up to my daughters, like, you know, she's at that age where everything is cool. Like, hey, Dad, when you come, I'll walk out to you. I don't want to make a big
Oh, yeah. 12.
I honked on. Hey, baby! Where my daughter at? I get out with like some sweatpants on or something crazy. My hat's half on my head. What do y'all call my daughter? What do y'all tell her? Her dad is here! Her dad is here! And she comes up. She hates it. She hates it. She hates it.
Your wife, Eniko, is pregnant.
Yeah.
Pregnant.
My sperm still works. This is an amazing thing, man.
We're talking about your daughter, but now you're having another boy.
Another boy, thank God.
Why thank
Oh
God?
my God, because I got one girl, and that little girl runs me. That girl, she's got me wrapped around her finger, man.
Yes.
And I just couldn't do. I can't do it again. I can't have another one. Like my daughter is so controlling of her father. No. Oh my God.
No. I mean, you treat her so well,
It's
though.
so bad. It's so bad. Hey, Dad, what time are you coming home? I don't know, baby. I'll figure it out. But I need to know. So I need to know if it's before my bedtime or not. 'Cause I want to talk. Well, baby, Daddy got to do stuff. I know, but I really want to talk. What do you want to talk about? I just want to talk. We have good talks. I want to talk. Like, she is very much...
Remember all that stuff you were talking about being present?
Wow, that's what it is. That's
go.
what I'm saying. That's
There
what it
you
is.
go.
So I got another boy coming. Thank God. This house can be balanced a little more.
Look, Father's Day is coming up.
It is.
And since you're now going to be a dad of 3,
Yeah.
we wanted to end with a game called Heart to Heart.
I like it.
What advice you give to your kids on a variety of hot button issues, okay?
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
The right card here. Okay. Dating.
Dating. To my daughter, don't do it. To my son, go for it. The birds and the bees, to my daughter, it's stupid. You should never do it. To my son, go for it.
You see?
No. Cheating in school.
Cheating in school. If you don't get caught, technically it's not. Technically, it's not cheating.
Okay, this is more serious. Drugs.
Drugs. You have people who win and people that lose. 9 times out of 10, people that do drugs eventually lose. Yes. Dad has never done it. Win. Be like your father. I'm an example. There you go.
What about bullying?
Bullying. You know, we're big on personality in my household, and we believe in you treat people the way that you want to be treated. Ultimately, bullying is frowned upon, and if we know people that are bullying, you know, it's not that you try to jump and beat people up, it's that you simply voice your opinion on what they're doing. And I think the more that you make people aware of what they're doing, the more that they can then start to mentally understand and comprehend it. But my kids are amazing people, so it's not even accepted in the house.
You're like a bazooka rapper of wisdom.
Yes.
A big thank you to Kevin Hart. His book, I Can't Make This Up, is out now, and everyone in the audience is going home with a copy.
Oh, my